नमस्कार। कार्यक्रम चर्चा परिचर्चामा यो कार्यक्रममा हामी विभिन्न क्षेत्रका अतिथिसँग प्रत्यक्ष संवाद गर्दै आएका छौँ। युवाहरू भनेका देशका कर्णधार हुन्। युवाहरू भनेका परिवर्तनका संवाहक हुन्। युवाहरू सुयोग्य, सुसंस्कृत, क्षमतावान भए भने समाज र राष्ट्र रूपान्तरणमा ठूलो योगदान पुर्याउन सक्दछन्। तर विडम्बना हाम्रो मुलुकबाट दैनिक रूपमा उच्च प्रतिशतमा युवाहरू विदेश पलायन भइरहेको दुःखद नियति छ। युवाहरूलाई स्वदेशमै आकर्षित गर्न सक्नुपर्दछ। नीति, नियम, योजना त केवल कागजमा मात्र सीमित भएका छन्। व्यवहारमा लागू हुन नसक्दा युवा पलायन बढ्दो छ। यसले परिवार, समाज र राष्ट्रमा नै असर पुर्याउँदैछ। यति मात्र होइन, प्राय हरेक जसो क्षेत्रमा युवा पलायनको असर देखिँदैछ। नेपाल प्रकृतिको वरदान, प्रशस्त सम्भावना बोकेको मुलुक। यही मुलुकका सम्भावनालाई पहिचान गरेर नतिजामुखी उपलब्धिमूलक कार्य गरेर र आफ्नो विवेकको प्रयोग गरेर महत्त्वाकांक्षी योजनाहरू अगाडि सारेर त्यसलाई सार्थकता प्रदान गरेर यही मुलुकभित्रै सार्थक कार्य गर्न सक्नुपर्दछ र राज्यले पनि त्यस्तो वातावरण तयार गरिदिनु पर्छ। युवाहरूको आशय पनि त्यही हो। र यतिखेर एसईई दिएर पनि विद्यार्थीहरू आफ्नो नतिजाको प्रतीक्षामा हुनुहुन्छ। एसई परीक्षाको नतिजा प्राप्त भइसकेपछि कुन विषय अध्ययन गर्ने, आफ्नो भविष्यलाई कसरी समृद्ध बनाउने भन्ने बारेमा अधिकांश विद्यार्थीहरू पनि अन्योलमा रहने गर्नुहुन्छ। उचित परामर्शको अभाव रहन्छ। तसर्थ त्यस्ता युवाहरूलाई सही समयमा सही निर्णय लिने उचित परामर्श जरुरी हुन्छ। यिनै सेरोफेरोमा हामी केन्द्रित रहनेछौँ र कुराकानीका लागि मोहित ग्रुपका एक्जिक्युटिभ डाइरेक्टर, जो विभिन्न क्षेत्रमा पनि आबद्ध हुनुहुन्छ, बिरगञ्ज उद्योग वाणिज्य सङ्घका कार्य समिति सदस्य हुनुहुन्छ, एनवाईईएफमा पनि आबद्ध हुनुहुन्छ र सामाजिक कार्यमा समेत अग्रसर हुनुहुन्छ, मोहित गुप्ता अतिथिका रूपमा हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँ युवा हुनुहुन्छ र उहाँलाई नेपाली बोल्न अलिक कठिन हुने भएकाले उहाँसँग अब भने हामी अङ्ग्रेजीमा संवाद गर्दैछौँ र हामीलाई विश्वास छ हाम्रो लक्षित वर्गले यो संवाद मार्फत केही रचनात्मक कुराहरू ग्रहण गर्न सक्नुहुनेछ। अब भने लागौँ मोहित गुप्तासँग संवाद गर्नतर्फ। Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much, Ujjwal sir, and thank you to the team of TV Birgunj. It's an honor for me to be here and be part of this interview. Thank you so much.
So how are you?
I'm doing good, Ujjwal sir.
Okay. Where did you study?
I got my high school education from St. George's College, Missouri, and then I graduated from Delhi University. And since pandemic, I have been investing myself into business.
Okay. So you look very fit and fine also. What is the secret behind this?
Actually, I'm a bit over it kind of a thing right now because I'm loving the food that my mom cooks, right? So because of that reason, I'm always gaining weight and I'm trying to put, hard work into that so that I maintain my physique. So yeah, that's always a part of job.
You spent most of your time in neighboring country India also for studies and the higher education. So now you are in this locality. So how are you finding?
Nepal is a very beautiful country and the people out here are also very lovely.
Especially talking about Birgunj.
Birgunj पनि हाम्रो ती नेपालकै कन्टेक्स्टमै भयो हाम्रो। म नेपाली पनि अलिकति प्रयास गर्छु गर्नको लागि किनकि म पनि यहाँ 3-4 सालदेखि यहीँ बसिरहेको छु। अझै नेपालीमा पनि मेरो अलिकति कमान्ड त्यति स्ट्रङ छैन, बट कम्युनिकेसनको केही मेजर पर्सपेक्ट छ कि के पनि कुरा गरौँ हामी बुझ्नुपर्छ मान्छेलाई। The Birgunj context, I am really loving this city because the development we have been seeing in this city is tremendous. Like malls coming up, game centers coming up, fun parks coming up, good schools coming up, good educations coming up. So it's very good to see Birgunj develop in this particular scenario. When I was a kid, these all facilities were not there, but right now we can see a drastic change in this city. So yeah, it's a very good thing to see in this city.
Now, talking about the youths or the students, they have appeared in AC examination also. They are waiting for their results. No? So, how can they utilize this particular time period?
Whenever any kid is free, there are lots of research work that can be done in this country, and especially the youth. Whenever you have this, papers, when the papers are completed and when you have this period spare time with you, don't get stressed about the results. Work on what you have in your hand. Don't focus on what is going to come. The results has been outlaid there, and it will be coming out anyway. So don't stress about it and focus on what you can do for the next thing. Find out good colleges, find out good universities that you can focus on your career. Other than that, you can go on doing internship in corporate houses, in banks or something, or the other ways you can implement yourself in a better way where you can learn something out there in this particular spare time. So yeah, that is what I would advise any students to go for some learning sessions, or go for some internships, or go for any online education system that has been provided. There are lots of sessions going around the country and the world as well. So just try to enhance your skills in this particular time.
And after the result is announced, then what kind of stream can they join?
Depends upon their interest that is prior to that. For me, a sheet of paper never decides the future. So whatever your marks might be, don't be stressed about it. If it's good, you can focus on the career that you want to pursue. If it's not good, don't worry and don't be too much stressed about the marks, because marks never decide the future of any individual. In today's world, in a competitive world, skill set is one of the most important characteristics that any employer is looking out at. So work on new skill sets in your spare time. Develop those skill sets. Marks are just a part of thing that will go on through your life. It won't play a major important integral part in your future. So focus on skill set that you have and develop them in a very fruitful way. That would I suggest to them.
But around our locality, students and youth, they feel quite relaxed to use the mobile phones and the gadgets.
Yeah, I feel that's a very bad habit, that everyone is being consumed by this bad habit. Not just students, but all the elders and everyone is being consumed by this digitalization, and phones are one of the major drawbacks. If we see in that scenario, yes, that plays a bad part and bad impact to the students. But using phone can also influence a student in a better way of life. If things can be used in a better way, if you get on learning something from it, if you see what you want to learn from it, so if you use that particular gadget in a better, improving your life, things would be better. If you're using gadget, that's not an issue. Use it for a better cause. That's what I would suggest.
But most of them, they try to take the refreshment by utilizing the mobile phones.
Taking refreshment from phone, might be a good thing for a short period of time, but try to avoid it in a day. Take physical refreshments, such as sports or hanging out with friends. These are the kind of refreshment that individuals should be involved in, and this is the time where you should put in hard work into your career. So having less time of refreshments and more time into your career and skill set would be much more important to any of the students out here.
But what is observed around our locality is that teenagers, they are being addicted to negative kind of attitudes and habits, and as a result, the negative kind of impact and a prestigious impact is also observed in individual and their family as well.
There might be a certain portion of individuals or students that are being bad influence and having bad energy or negativity around them. To those students, I would just ask them to self-reflect on yourself. Give yourself some personal time. You might not know that you're doing it right or wrong. You might be in a sense that where you would be thinking that you are doing things in the right way, but you might not be doing that. So sit with elders, take their perspective on your life, seek advice from them, and then you can reflect what is going right and what is going wrong in your life. So it's all about sitting with your elders, giving time with them and spending time with them and reflecting on yourself. Then only you can analyze.
But instead of doing so,
yes,
what do they do is that They like to hang around their friend circle. Tea and smoke morning is a part of their life nowadays. Some of them, they are influenced in taking drugs as well. The scenario is such.
Sir, there are always problems around life, right? We always have to see the solution that we can bring to them. And if any parent can see their kids are going into wrong habits or are being a bad influence around their friends, they have to take care of it. If child is not being that much aware of his surrounding or aware of his friends, that they are having a bad influence on him, it's the duty comes towards parents and their elder ones or something of that sort, to see if the child is in right place or not, see if the child is doing the right thing or not. So I think here the parents' role plays a critical thing in child's life. If the student is being involved in drugs or being involved in creating a habit of smoking daily or getting surrounded by bad friends or having bad influence from them, as a parent we have to see, as a guardian we have to look for them, that they're not being influenced into this thing, and we have to sort this thing for them.
On the other side, high rate of youth migration is a severe concern in our country. So, what do you think are the main reasons for this?
The major reason that I personally feel for this country's migration is that there has been lack of interest into one of the major sector is agriculture, right? Today's farmers kid are least interested in their farmlands, and if you see the migration segment of careers what they are pursuing outside, it would be more majorly blue collar type of jobs, right? There are very few individuals who are pursuing white collar jobs outside. So in our country we are in a situation where even blue collar jobs are not that much potential in our country, where people are not affording that standard of living here, and those people are majorly coming from agriculture family. So we have to see what is going wrong with the agriculture sector in this country. For me, agriculture sector is something where lots of work has to be done, and I'll be elaborating on it in future onwards. But migration is something that we have to consider is as a red flag for this country, and we have to work on it as a front foot type of a problem, and we have to look at it in a very different way, where students have to create an interest for this country, where they can see that yes, there is an investment opportunity in this country and we can also tap into that. So for entrepreneurs like us who are being associated with Birgunj Chambers or Nepalese Young Entrepreneurs Forum, we have a duty to provide this learning sessions to them, what opportunities that there is in this country. So it's our duty as a whole. We all are falling into that particular thing where we are letting youth go outside. So it's all our duty to keep them here, show them the opportunities in the country, and put the best of for this country.
How can we attract the youths within our country only? What kind of role can the stakeholders play for this?
I'll start with three sectors that I personally feel that if these three sectors are tapped in potentially, the country can go in a very good direction in coming decade. The three sectors that I will be targeting would be, first would be agriculture sector, second would be tourism sector, and third would be service sector, where we would be focusing IT and AI, that would be revolving around these two particular sectors. So coming to the agriculture sector, if we see in the year 2012 and 2013, the contribution of the agriculture to the GDP was 30%. In today's context, the contribution to the GDP from the agriculture is 24%. It has dropped to 5% it has dropped from 5%, right? And if we see the year-on-year growth of the agriculture sector to the economy of GDP, it is near about 2.9%. The year-on-year growth is 2.9% on an average rate. So what I can see is that agriculture sector is something where people are not concentrating on that, and that is why I said that migration, if you see the statistics in a deeper analysis, you'll see most of the students who are leaving this country are opting for blue collar jobs. So these are the people coming from the agricultural family. There are very less population that is going for white collar jobs outside from this country, right? So agricultural sector is something that we have to create an opportunity around it. What we see in agriculture economy is that agriculture in our country, and we see the neighbor India, right? See the way how agriculture is being opted out in India, the modernization in India about the agriculture, the mechanism that they have been using in India. Coming to the agriculture part, I'll share a small example out here. It was a scheme that was run by Indian government in the year 2023. The scheme named Namo Drone Didi scheme, right? In this particular scheme, what the Modi government did is they put up drones in the farmlands, right? And these drones, they made sure that each and every drone should be regulated by a woman in a family, not a man. And that particular thing, brought a inclusivity into each and every family, farmer's family. Not that only, inclusivity is one of the reasons that was launched. And other than that, the drone could be used for fertilizers, the drone could be used for chemicals, the drone could be used for inspection of the crop. In all, this particular drone mechanism helped India to increase the yield percentage of the crop. So such a small idea, having a drone putting up the fertilizer and chemicals and taking the health of a crop, but with this small innovation out there, India has started to increase the yield percentage of the crops. Why can we not do this in the agriculture segment? Why can the students and youth invest into these types of drones and create these types of mechanisms for agriculture farmers and put women front out there to be the pilot of the drones and put up in the better situations? What I feel is that the agriculture, Nepal is based on agriculture, right? So agriculture is something that we have to work on, where the modernization has to come into, where the mechanism has to be worked into. So these are the two segments where youth can invest into this particular thing and bring something out of it. There is lots of investment opportunities. Even the government will be very much ready to be part of such an innovation or something like that. So I feel these things has to be tapped in a very different format where opportunity can be grabbed. And if agriculture economy is better, the country won't be dependent on necessity goods on neighboring countries. And being dependent on necessity goods in neighboring countries is not a good sign for any country for economic growth. Coming to the second sector that I stated is tourism sector. Tourism sector is the only sector that has revived from pandemic. In 2019, the growth rate of tourism sector was 6.7%. In today's to GDP, 6.7% contribution to GDP. In today's context, last year we had a contribution from tourism sector as 6.6%. So what we can see is that there is a robust, recovery of tourism sector. The tourism sector plays a huge role in the country's economic sector. So there is lots of opportunity out there. There are lots of revenue opportunity out there in tourism sector. There are lots of advancement that can be taken care of by youth by putting up digital apps, by making the tourism hospitality segment more smoother for tourists around this country. If you see the footfall of tourists in this country, year-on-year growth is 65%. So that's very huge. The tourists visiting in the country are very huge. So potential is always growing. So the youth can always concentrate on tourism industry because the revenue is always rising and there is a good opportunity to tap some or the other business out there, right? Coming to the third sector, that is service sector, where I'll be revolving around IT and AI. So these are the sectors that contributes 1 to 2% to the GDP, but it has a great return on investment. In 2022, there was an investment in the IT sector made to 44.4 million US dollars, right? And the outcome of that 44 million outcome was 500 million from that particular investment. From 44 million investment US dollars, the outcome of that particular investment was 500 millions, more than 500 millions. So what we see is that IT sector is such a sector where you have robust returns on investments. So this is a sector where you can largely think about this thing and how they can tap into this particular potential, where you can get good returns on your investments. Small investment is required, and slowly and gradually the investment will give good benefits. So these are the three segments that I want to concentrate, how youth can tap onto these opportunities and how they can bring good opportunities for our country in future.
Okay, considering about our country, Nepal is a gift of nature.
Right.
Lot of potentialities are there. As you mentioned earlier, tourism, agriculture, hydro, medicinal herbs and so on. Having so also, why couldn't our country progress?
That's a very good question, Ujjwal sir. I feel there has been progress in a very slow manner, but there is always a scope of progress in this country, and the economy is also rising in a very slow manner. The reason being for the country not developing in a very robust manner would be the policies that are being regulated in this country, which is not that stable. With every government changes, the policies are being policies are also being changed, and there is no regulation about the policies, and that I feel is one of the major cause behind not a good growth into this
political instability.
Political instability is the perfect word to go about this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. The other thing is that plans and policies are listed in papers, but the implementation part is almost zero.
True, Ujjwal sir. You know, even I was shocked when I was going through my dad's point. Like he has been part of chambers for quite a time, right? He has been giving his 30 to 35 years to chambers, right? And I have been going through his notes from since day one. And what I see is that the notes that he has been creating since day one and the notes that I'll be using today in my context
Are almost similar.
Right? So what I see is that all the organization for any community are working for the best policies for their community, right? But the government has to take a stance on it. Either they want to make the country progress in a better way or not, because the points are always the same. The governments have been changing. In 17 years we have 14 different leaders in this country. So that stability is very much necessary, because if the leaders are not stable into their position, how can the policies of this country be stable in their position, and how can the stakeholders of this country be confident about this policies? So it's all draws back to that particular thing.
We are towards the end of this wonderful talk. Startup and innovation. These two words are quite attractive. What do you want to say, especially to the youths, about this contest?
Startup and innovation is a very attractive words, I would say, in today's context, where people are like in Birgunj especially, because I have been here for quite a time and I have been participating in lots of college events in startups, and I see that youth out here are very much energetic and are bringing new ideas into this context. And I'm really hopeful that they will be making a great startups in coming days, and lots of startups have already commenced in the city and we could see some, and that's a great example for all of us. But what I see as a stakeholder, that there has to be policies for venture capitalists also, where if a venture capitalist or venture or an investor is also investing into any startup, there should be a tariff where be implemented from that particular investment or something like that sort. There should be some subsidies around that, where investors are also interested in that investment, because the startups are there, ideas are there, but they're not able to execute that particular ideas due to lack of investments, due to lack of mentorship, due to lack of financial knowledge. These are the three major reasons that I feel that startups are not commencing, but ideas are there. So we have to work on these particular three subjects, where we can really make that particular startups execute themselves in real time.
It was wonderful talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ujjwal sir, for your time, and thank you TV Birgunj for giving me this opportunity to speak with you. It was an honor for me. Thank you.
Thank you. आदरणीय दर्शक महानुभाव र श्रोता महानुभाव, आजको प्रस्तुतिमा हामीले कुराकानी गरेका छौँ एक युवासँग। युवाको विचारलाई कार्यक्रममा स्थान दिएका छौँ। उहाँ मोहित ग्रुपका एक्जिक्युटिभ डाइरेक्टर, जो विभिन्न संस्थामा समेत आबद्ध हुनुहुन्छ र सामाजिक कार्यमा समेत अग्रसर हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँ टिभी इन्टरभ्यूमा पहिलो पटक आफ्नो कुरा राख्दै हुनुहुन्थ्यो र हामीलाई विश्वास छ उहाँसँग गरिएको संवादको माध्यमबाट युवाहरू पनि प्रेरित हुनुहुनेछ र समाज रूपान्तरण, राष्ट्र रूपान्तरणमा पनि आफूलाई अग्रसर राख्नका लागि आफैले नै परिचालित गर्नुहुनेछ। प्रस्तुतिबाट बिदा माग्ने क्रममा टिभी रेडियो बिरगन्जका सम्पूर्ण क्र्यू मेम्बरलाई धन्यवाद दिँदै र अतिथिज्यूप्रति आभार व्यक्त गर्दै कार्यक्रम सञ्चालक म उज्जवल पनि यहाँहरू माझबाट बिदा हुन चाहन्छु। हवस् त, नमस्कार।